Good.
The first thing I would like to state today is I'm just an average American. I'm not a politician. I'm not a speaker. But we do have something to say here. Something I want to state is, how long do we have? About the time our original 13 states adopted their new constitution in 1787, Alexander Tyler, a Scottish history professor at the University of Edinburgh, had this to say about the fall of the Athenian Republic some 2,000 years earlier. A democracy is always temporary in nature. It simply cannot exist as a permanent form of government. A democracy will continue to exist up until the time that voters discover that they can vote themselves generous gifts from the public treasury. From that moment on, the majority always votes for the candidate who promises the most goods to the most people, with the result that every democracy will finally collapse due to loose fiscal policy, which is always followed by a dictatorship. The average age of the world's greatest civilizations from the beginning of history has only been 200 years. During those 200 years, those nations always progressed through the following sequence: from bondage to spiritual faith, from spiritual faith to great courage, from courage to liberty, from liberty to abundance, from abundance to complacency, from complacency to apathy, from apathy to dependence, and from dependence back into bondage. I believe the United States now is somewhere in the apathy phase of Professor Tyler's definition of democracy, with almost half of the nation's population already having reached the governmental dependency phase in one way or another. Moving into the dependent stage allows the government more control over you, such as taking away our rights. The government says, if you, the people, want more goods from the public treasury, we're going to have to change the rules. Freedom of speech, such as the censoring of Rush Limbaugh and the right media, to rights to bear arms, Obama's and leftist city councils tightening our gun laws, sharing the wealth with socialist programs will be the death of the USA. If Congress grants amnesty and citizenship to 20 million criminal invaders, as they are here illegally, they will vote for the ones giving the free goods. The taxpayer will be broke, and we can say goodbye to the USA in fewer than 10 years. I heard someone say, socialism works until the government runs out of other people's money. There was a reason we have been the greatest country in the world, the very thing we fought for and died for over 235 years are now at stake. Now, let's help Obama change that? We don't think so. We had Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann. She's in Washington right now at this very moment. She's on our Capitol steps with folks just like this. We are here today about the health care problem, one of many. This is a statement from Michelle Bachmann. The American people spoke loud and clear at town hall meetings all across the country throughout August, but it would appear that Congress didn't hear a word they had to say. The Democrats' latest health care proposal, unveiled late last week, may be packaged a little differently, but it's the same old bad bill as before. This is a $1 trillion budget-busting government takeover of our health care system. It will put bureaucrats between people and their health care. It will lead to ration care, hurting the most vulnerable among us first. It will break the bank, leaving our children to pay the bill with diminished freedoms and dwindling prosperity. The American people need to stand up again and make sure that Congress hears them this time. Speaker Pelosi is putting her bill on fast track to a vote, and it remains to be seen if the House will even get a chance to vote on the common sense Republican alternatives. The people need to make a House call on Washington this week and tell the representatives to vote no to a government takeover of 1/5 of our economy. This is a gangster movement at its worst, Chicago politics at its best. I urge all Americans to come to Washington this Thursday, which is today, and we are here today. Come and meet up with your representative and tell them that you want to control our health care system. Amen. Thank you.